Welcome to Module 1, Unit 2, Agriculture Business Management. In this lesson, we will discuss role of data analytics in agribusiness management, emerging trends and future directions. In a world where agriculture is increasingly shaped by uncertainty from volatile market to erratic weather, the ability to make decisions based on accurate, real-time data is a game changer. Data analytics offer agriculture businesses a way to reduce guesswork, respond proactively to risks, and optimize productivity across every stage of the value chain. From soil sensors that monitor moisture and nutrient levels to predictive models that forecast yield, pest outbreaks, or commodity prices, the use of agricultural data has moved far beyond spreadsheets. Today, data is fast becoming one of the most valuable assets of the farm. Modern agribusiness generates massive volumes of data, from GPS-enabled tractors to digital irrigation systems and cloud-based inventory platforms. But raw data alone has little value unless it is turned into actionable insights. Data analytics tools help farm managers and agri-entrepreneurs answer key questions. Which fields are underperforming and why? When is the optimal time to irrigate or apply fertilizer? Which products are yielding the highest return per hectare? How will market demand shift in the next season? Analytics enables precision agriculture, smarter resource allocation, better financial planning, and stronger resilience to external shocks, particularly in a climate uncertain and supply chain constrained world. Production data, crop yield, milk yield, input usage, labor hours, irrigation levels, environmental data, weather forecasts, soil health, pest prevalence, satellite imagery, financial data, cost, revenues, margin, equipment, depreciation. Market data, price fluctuation, consumer trends, demand forecasts. Logistics data, inventory levels, delivery timelines, storage capacity. When properly collected and analyzed, these datasets can help producers improve both efficiency and sustainability. Yield prediction using machine learning algorithms to estimate production per parcel. Soil mapping with drones and sensors to fine-tune fertilizer applications. Market simulations to test pricing strategies or assess entry into new segments. Carbon tracking dashboards to monitor emissions and align with ESG targets. Financial benchmarking tools that help firms compare cost and margin to regional averages. Case study: Precision lettuce farming in central Spain. A cooperative of vegetable growers in Castilla-La Mancha adopt a precision farming system that combines NDVI drone imaging, soil conductivity sensors, and cloud-based analytic dashboards. Using the system, they detect significant variability in water retention across their fields. By adjusting irrigation based on the data, they reduced water use by 18%, improved uniformity of lettuce yield, and saw a 12% increase in yield consistency across plots. The cooperative also used market pricing data to time their harvest for peak pricing windows, increasing revenue by 9% in one season. This case shows that data analytics is not reserved for high-tech enterprises. Even small and medium firms can benefit when insights are tied directly to operational decisions. In the realm of agribusinesses, while big data provides extensive quantitative insight, it's often the nuanced qualitative observations, small data that reveal the underlying motivations and behaviors of consumers. Martin Lindstrom emphasized this in his book, Small Data, the tiny clue that uncover huge trends, where he explores how many details can lead to significant business transformations. One particularly insightful example from Lindstrom's books highlights the intersection of data analysis, branding, and market segmentation is the challenges faced by a global cereal company attempting to penetrate the Indian market. The company observed that while younger women show interest in breakfast cereals, overall sales remain stagnant. To understand this discrepancy, Lindstrom conducted in-home ethnography research in Mumbai, focusing on the dynamic between daughters-in-law and their mothers-in-law. He discovered that in many Indian households, mothers-in-law held significant influence over food choices and purchasing decisions. They favored traditional Indian breakfast and were skeptical of Western cereals, perceiving them as lacking in nutritional value and cultural relevance. Conversely, daughters-in-law were more open to modern food options, but often deferred to their elders' preferences to maintain household harmony. A pivotal observation was the organization of spices in the kitchen. Mothers-in-law meticulously arranged vibrant spices in traditional containers, symbolizing their control over culinary practices. This insight highlights the importance of color and tradition in food presentation. To address these findings, Lindstrom recommended a dual-appeal packaging strategy. The cereal boxes were designed with rich, spice-inspired colors on the lower half to attract mothers-in-law and earthy, natural tones on the upper half to appeal to daughters-in-law. This approach acknowledged the sensibilities of both generations, facilitating acceptance of the product within the household. In an era increasingly shaped by satellite-driven analytics and predictive dashboards, it's easy to forget that some of the most powerful marketing insights come not from massive datasets but from the small human details. Big data revealed purchasing trends, but it was only by Lindstrom sitting in kitchen and talking to mothers and grandmothers that marketers realized two generations held completely different values around breakfast, status, and tradition. The real marketing breakthrough came not from a spreadsheet but from understanding how emotional rituals and family dynamics influence brand perceptions. For agribusinesses, especially those selling directly to consumers or working within rural communities, small data can be an invaluable complement to big data. Observe, Observing how customers interact with produce at farmers market, noticing which social media posts generate emotional responses, or listening to how a customer describes why they choose one olive oil over another. This micro level insight can unlock powerful ideas for product design, branding, packaging, and messaging. Packaging and branding. A farm cooperative may notice that urban customers prefer packaging that highlights traditional farming values and traceability. A small detail like including the farmer's name or regions on the label could increase trust and appeal. Product development. A cheese producer may find through informal conversation at a tasting event that people are curious about how sheep are raised. This insight could lead to storytelling content on product labels emphasize animal welfare and heritage breeds. Channel strategy. In a rural setting, observing how older customers learn about products, perhaps by word of mouth, could shift a marketing strategy toward local partnership rather than digital only promotion. The agriculture sector is undergoing a fundamental transformation. Technological innovation is no longer the domain of a few early adopters. It is becoming a cornerstone of competitive, sustainable, and resilient agribusiness. From smart machinery to blockchain-enabled supply chains, emerging technologies are redefining how agricultural enterprises are planned, managed, and marketed. This development offers profound opportunities. They help producers optimize input use, minimize losses, increase transparency, and align with growing sustainability and traceability demands. However, they also raise new challenges: unequal access to digital infrastructure, the need for training, and the capital-intensive nature of early adoptions. This section examines the key innovation driving the digital revolution in agribusiness and highlights how practical can empower smallholders, cooperatives, and large-scale enterprises alike. Artificial intelligence (AI) and machine learning (ML) are revolutionizing how agriculture enterprises manage risk, optimize inputs, and plan production. These technologies are not merely futuristic additions, but practical tools for enhancing decision-making and sustainability in modern agribusiness operations. At their core, AI and ML algorithms process vast quantities of data from satellite imagery and soil sensor readings to historical yield records and weather forecasts to identify patterns and generate actionable insight. This capability allows agriculture producers to transition from reactive to predictive and even prescriptive strategies. Crop monitoring. AI models process drones and satellite imagery to detect early signs of crop stress such as disease, nutrient deficiency, or water imbalance. This insight enables precision interventions, improving yields and reducing loss. Disease and pest forecasting. ML tools analyze climate and historical outbreak data to model the likelihood of pest and disease emergence. This forecast allows for timely target application of control measures, reducing chemical use and protecting crop health. Input scheduling. By integrating weather forecasts, soil composition, and plant growth stage, AI tools can recommend optimized schedules for irrigation, fertilization, and pesticide application. This reduces input costs and environmental externalities. Yield prediction. ML algorithms synthesize spatial and temporal data, including planting density, rainfall, and varietal performance, to forecast yield. This allows better storage planning, labor management, and contract negotiations. Operational efficiency and labor planning. AI also supports mechanized decision making. For example, robotic harvesters equipped with image recognition technology can selectively pick ripe fruits, reducing waste and labor dependency. Several platforms now operationalize AI in agribusiness. Tools like AGMRI, YieldTap, and CropWise AI integrate geospatial analysis, IoT sensor, and weather forecasting to support data-driven farming. These systems deliver real-time field-specific alerts and recommendations, allowing managers to act quickly on problems like irrigation stress, weed encroachment, or disease risk. Some systems provide prescriptive analytics, not only identifying a problem, but suggesting the most cost-effective remedy based on previous outcomes. This shift from reactive to strategic planning supports both economic and environmental goals. While AI adoption has largely been concentrated in capital-intensive farming, the development of mobile-based platforms and cloud computing has begun to democratize access. In South Asia and part of Southern Europe, cooperatives and advisory networks now use image-based apps for disease diagnosis, with AI algorithms identifying pathogens from simple smartphone photos and recommending localized treatments. AI supports proactive and evidence-based decision-making, improving operational predictability in a climate-uncertain environment. Precision recommendation reduce overuse of inputs, contributing to resource conservation and alignment with EU sustainability targets. By linking historical and real-time data, AI tools enhance resilience and competitiveness, especially for enterprises pursuing high-value markets or certifications. Barriers remain, including training gaps, infrastructure limitation, and data privacy concerns, especially for smallholders or farmers in rural areas. This case illustrates the power of data-driven irrigation in addressing climate-related challenges, improving economic performance, and aligning with environmental policy goals. Most importantly, it highlights how target training and trust support networks can empower traditional farmers to embrace innovation not as a threat to their knowledge, but as a tool to enhance it. Autonomous machinery, including robotic harvesters, self-driving tractors, and drone sprayers, reduce dependence on seasonal labor and improves operational accuracy. Precision application. Blockchain provides an immutable, decentralized ledger that records every step of product journey, from planting or harvesting to packaging and sale. This is critical for traceability, especially in export markets or certified production systems. The Minotaur Cooperative, a mid-sized producer of extra virgin olive oil located in the Heraclio region of Crete, has long prided itself on crafting high-quality oil from Koroneiki olives grown in centuries-old groves. For decades, the cooperative sold primarily to local markets and a few boutique retailers abroad, relying on its protected designation of origin status to differentiate in products. However, by 2021, the cooperative began facing a troubling mix of problems. Counterfeit products, falsely labeled as Cretan PDO olive oil, began circulating in overseas markets, undermining consumer trust and depressing prices. Buyers in Northern Europe were increasingly demanding food traceability, and verifiable environmental and labor practices. Younger consumers were reluctant to pay premium prices for products with vague or unverifiable origin claims. Traditional record keeping based on paper logs and spreadsheets made it difficult for the cooperative to provide real-time proof of harvest dates, processing timelines, or storage conditions. These issues were not just bureaucratic, they were eroding the cooperative's competitive edge, especially in e-commerce channels where reputation, transparency, and product story are essential. Seeking a solution, in 2022 the cooperative was invited to participate in a pilot program funded by an EU Horizon project focused on digital transparency in agri-food supply chains. After discussions with advisors and technology partners, they decided to implement a blockchain-based traceability platform designed specifically for small and medium agri-cooperatives. Each participating grower was trained to log basic information using a mobile app, including GPS tagged growth location, harvest date, and batch number. Processing time and method, storage and transportation condition. Once the data were validated by the quality manager, the blockchain system generated a unique QR code tied to each production batch. This code was then printed on the bottle label and scannable by consumers worldwide. The transition took several months. Key steps included upgrading the cooperative ERP system to integrate with the blockchain platforms, installing tamper-proof IoT sensors in the processing facility to verify temperature and storage conditions, training farmers and warehouse staff to log and verify data consistently, redesigning the product label to include traceability QR codes along with sustainability icons and storytelling elements. To build consumer trust, the cooperative also launched a new multilingual landing page where the QR code directs users. This page displayed each bottle journey, including a map of the grove, harvest details, photo of the producer, and environmental commitments. Outcomes result. By mid-2023, the results of the blockchain adoption were clear and quantifiable. Online sales increased by 23% over 18 months, particularly in German, Dutch, and Scandinavian markets. The cooperative was able to sign the first direct contract with the Nordic organic foods retailers, bypassing intermediaries. Product designation of origin compliance audits were complete 40% faster thanks to digital record availability and standardized trace logs. Consumer engagement metrics improved. Scan rates of the QR code averaged 12% per bottle and over 16% of visitors to the product traceability page report higher purchase confidence in follow-up surveys. The cooperative reported a 28% decrease in customer inquiries about authenticity, freeing up staff time, and improving service satisfaction. Growers began seeing the value of their individual contributions recognized by name and story, strengthening their commitment to high standards and cooperative participation. This case illustrates how blockchain is not only a technological upgrade but a strategic marketing and compliance tool. For geographically indicated premium agriculture products, digital transparency can elevate perceived value, open new market channels, and future-proof PDO branding against fraud and consumer skepticism. Most importantly, it provides small and medium enterprises a means to compete on trust and traceability, not just volume. The rise of digital commerce enables producers to bypass intermediaries and sell directly to consumers or institutional buyers. Platforms allow farmers to list products, communicate certification, manage orders, and receive mobile payments. During the COVID-19 lockdowns of 2020 to 2021, agriculture market across Greece faced unprecedented disruption. Traditional channels such as local markets and regional fairs were temporarily suspended, leaving many small and medium-sized farms with produce they could not sell. In Thessaly, a region famed for its rich agricultural heritage and diversity of produce from peaches and apples to dairy products and medicinal herbs, this situation threatened the livelihood of many young agricultural entrepreneurs. A group of young farmers from Larissa and Trikala quickly recognized they needed to innovate to survive. Their key challenge was not only finding new sales channels but maintaining personal connection with customers who traditionally value face-to-face interaction and authenticity of local farmers market. In response to this challenge, the group cooperative developed a regional online marketplace branded as Thessaly Fresh. The platform was designed with two primary strategic priorities in mind: transparency and storytelling. Each farm created an online profile featuring detailed description of their products, photographs of their farming methods, personal stories, and transparent data such as harvest dates, sustainable practices, and certifications. Reliable and fast delivery. Recognizing consumer expectations shaped by large e-commerce platforms, they established a same-day or next-day delivery promise within the Thessaly regions. They partnered with local delivery services and coordinate internal logistics to maintain freshness, quality, and timeline of deliveries. Launching a digital marketplace required coordinated steps. Online platform development. They hired a local web development agency to create a user-friendly, visually appealing e-shop optimized for both desktop and mobile access. Social media integration. Leveraging popular social media platforms, Instagram and Facebook, they promote the marketplace and its unique locally rooted identity through engaging multimedia content, frequent updates, and target advertising. Digital literacy training. Recognizing the importance of digital skills, the group arranged a series of online workshops for participating farmers, teaching skills such as digital marketing, photography for e-commerce, customer relationship management, and online payment management. Efficient logistics system. To ensure timely deliveries, they established a small logistic hub centrally located in Larissa, managing order fulfillment collaboratively to reduce individual costs. Within the first 6 months, Thessaly Fresh attracts over 1,500 regular customers who appreciate the convenience, product transparency, and personal connection to local producers. Customers particularly value the authenticity of knowing exactly who grew their food and how. Even after traditional markets reopened fully in 2022, over 18% of the platform's customers continued using the online service regularly. Post-lockdown, the digital marketplace continued expanding its product range, including processed, local delicacies, organic cosmetics, and agro-tourism experiences, further diversifying income streams. An average increase of 25% in revenue compared to pre-pandemic traditional sales, reduced reliance on intermediaries, enhancing their bargaining power and profitability, increased customers' loyalty, and strengthened regional brand identity, leading to sustained market presence and strong community following. Today, Thessaly French is recognized as a successful example of how digital innovation can secure not only economic sustainability but also foster meaningful relationships between producers and consumers, providing particularly resilience during periods of uncertainty or disruptions. This case highlights the crucial role digital innovation plays in agribusiness resilience, illustrating the power of relationship-based online marketing to drive sustained profitability and community engagement. For agriculture entrepreneurs, the Thessaly experience underscores the importance of digital literacy, responsive logistics, and transparency-driven branding. These platforms combine field data, financial data, and logistics tracking into a single decision support interface. Tools such as NGMRI, YieldUp, and CropWise AI enable farmers to monitor crop health, predict risk, and allocate resources efficiently. Technology adoption enhanced efficiency, reduced waste, and improved environmental compliance, and especially important for farms participating in gap econ schemes. AI and precision tools offer a path toward labor substitutions and climate resilience. Blockchain and digital marketplace strengthens trust and enable premium pricing through product differentiation. However, barriers such as lack of infrastructure, cost of technology, and digital skills training must be addressed, particularly for smallholders and aging farmers.